I've been sitting here for like 5 minutes trying to figure out how I was going to start this video, and just like thinking about what I want to talk about, and then I just want to keep it raw. I have no script, I have no nothing, I have no, ideas. I literally just want to turn on the camera and just talk, because, part of me documenting my journey, I just want to be open with everything, and just open with how I'm feeling, open with how I feel about where I am and where I'm going, and hopefully this video doesn't take too long. It's just want to keep it raw. But ever since I was a kid, I've always felt like I was destined for more, destined for greatness, destined to do something amazing with my life. And I feel like I've gone through so many phases over the last 10 years of growth, and I'm so proud of just like how far I've come in certain areas of my life. But I feel like I just have this thing inside of me. I have this underlying belief, this undeniable belief that something amazing is going to happen. And maybe I'm delusional for thinking that. Maybe I'm just weird for thinking that. Maybe it's just people look at me like I'm crazy, like for example, when I'm making these videos, for example, I just whenever I pick up this camera, I genuinely have this feeling of like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I have this, I don't know how to describe it. It's weird. It's unlike anything I've ever felt before. And if I never even felt that in the 12 years that I was playing the French horn. And I started this channel a few years ago, and the other day I was just looking back at some of my earlier videos, and it's really cool to see the personal growth, for sure. But I also know that younger me started this channel because he was called to do so. And in those early days when I was starting the channel, I was thinking to myself, well, I'll see what happens and I'll have fun with it. And if it still calls my name 2 to 3 years down the line, then I'll know, then I'll know that that's something that I'm supposed to be doing. Sorry, I keep looking at my screen over here. I'm trying to look at the camera. But here we are, a few years later, and it's calling my name. It's literally calling my name stronger than anything else has ever called my name. And I'm watching these videos of my younger self, and I feel this deep conviction inside of me of like, I need to make that younger version of myself proud. I need to make him proud. I'm going to make him proud. And if I'm being honest, one of the things I've struggled with the most in my life has been belief. And especially when I was, pursuing music, that was the biggest thing with me, was belief. And belief is everything. And I feel as if where I am now is a culmination of everything that's happened to me over the last 10 years. And when it comes to this and this whole fitness thing, and it's like, maybe I don't know exactly where I'm going to end up 5, 10, 15 years down the line. But I know definitively that I'm going to do something great. I know definitively that I'm going to make an impact in some way. And here I am, years later, I'm still trying, and I haven't given up, and I refuse to be normal, because I want something better for myself. I want to build something bigger than myself. I want to be able to be an inspiration to others, and I'm so grateful as a trainer that I'm able to do that and help people change their lives. And I want freedom. I want to be able to travel. I want to be able to take care of my loved ones and my family, and just give back to those who invested in me. And I refuse to give up. I could very well be making comfortable money and just, keep doing what I'm doing, live a comfortable life, But like I said, ever since I was a kid, I've just had that thing just like deep down inside of me that says that I'm just meant for so much more. One book that I've been reading that I just started actually like the last few days is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. It's a great book. But, you know, one thing I really like to do is I really like to take notes on everything. And I just want to share some notes that resonated with me, or things that I took away from the first chapter. And the first thing I wrote down is know what you want and believe that it is inevitable. Most people quit when they fail, not knowing that they were 3 feet from gold. And I feel like that's so applicable, as in anybody who's ever accomplished anything amazing has a vision. They had a vision for it. And if people aren't telling you that it's impossible, if people aren't telling you that it's not going to happen, then your dream's not big enough, right? But it's a matter of having that dream and that vision and knowing deep down that it is going to come to fruition and it is going to be reality and it is inevitable. Because if it's inevitable and you know for sure it's going to happen, then you're going to be much more willing to put in the work that it takes to get there if you know it's going to happen. And I feel like part of this game, pardon me for my language, is just like, who can eat shit the longest? Whoever can eat shit the longest is going to outlast everybody else. And as long as they have that vision and they keep trying to be better in some way, and maybe they don't know where they want to be. Maybe I don't know the path that I want to be on, like specifically. But you course correct along the way, and you keep trying, and you keep going, and you know that one day you're going to get there. And right now I'm 25, and I would have a really hard time believing that by the time I'm 35, 40, and I keep committing to it every day, being better, you know, trying to improve something, trying to challenge myself in some way, one day it's going to happen. And I know that deep down. And I've made the decision to operate in that definitive state. Let me keep reading some notes here. You're closer to success than you think you are. It begins with a state of mind, a state of definiteness. Okay? Then it brought up the example of Henry Ford. He wanted to build this crazy engine. He was telling his team, find a way to do it. The team kept saying it was impossible. They came back a year later, 2 years later, saying it was impossible. Henry said, keep doing it. He had the vision. He stayed relentless. And eventually it happened. And, like I've said, I'm happy with how far I've come, but I know I have so far left to go. And I know some people watching this might be thinking that I'm delusional making this video, that I'm maybe somewhat crazy. You know, what is he doing? Right? But that's the price I pay to have that vision and make my dreams a reality. And if it means 5 or 10 years of suffering, then so be it. So be it. Because if you're not willing to sacrifice for what you want, then what you want becomes a sacrifice. And you're only here once. You only have one life. And one thing I think about is just like, if you have a calling and you have something that's calling your name, do it. You know what you're here to do. Just make sure you're doing it. And only you can see where you want to be. Only you have that vision. And only you're capable of making it come to fruition. And I'm right there with you, right? But, you know, for me, it's like, I want to build my physique. I want to build my business. I want to build this YouTube channel and the social media, and I want to build a community. I want to build this thing. I want to have my own gym, right? I have these goals and aspirations, and there's even so many more that I have for the next like 5 or 10 years. And I just want to document the journey. The ups, the downs, the struggles. Because I know one day I'm going to be able to look back at this and think, wow, what have I done? And I just can't wait for that moment. So, it's just the beginning of my story. This is the beginning of my story, and admittedly, one of the hardest things is showing up, continuing to make videos, continuing to do this when literally nobody's watching. That's the tough part, and that's the phase where most people give up. And I'm in that phase right now, but it's a phase that everybody who's ever had a vision or built anything successful, everybody's had to go through that phase. But like I said, that state of inevitability, if it's inevitable that it's going to happen, it might take one day, might take 10 years, but if you stop, you guarantee that it's not going to happen. So that being said, it has taken a lot for me to get to this point. A lot of failure, heartbreak, setbacks, blood, sweat, tears, an entire career change. The last 5-10 years have been crazy, you know, but that inner desire inside of me has not wavered. So anyways, I don't know if this video is dragging on, but I just wanted to kind of just get that off my chest and just be open and honest. So